Rangers Journal Night.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Doug. You're watching the Rangers Journal, and this is the Lowdown, your bite-sized video on our opponents for Rangers' upcoming match, which in this case is Livingston in the SPFL. We're coming off the back of a disappointing loss to Genk in our maiden venture in the Europa League this season. Another false dawn from the Hibs game after looking like we might be pulling away into some bit of form. So pressure back on Martin to get another victory against another stubborn team like sort of Motherwell, Dundee and St Mirren that we played thus far, a team that could give us some trouble that we have usually got points against, but who knows under Russell Martin. Joining me today, I've got Ross, who's come on to chat a little bit with me about Livingston for this one. How are you doing, Ross?
Yeah, no, been better, Doug. Yourself?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think most of us, as I say, just it's not enough for Rangers to ruin our weekends. They have to start ruining the midweek as well. So
No, as I said, if I would get a result, can't see it. But if we do, we're bottom. That's sackable.
That's it. So
You know,
we'll have a look at the current form of the two teams coming into the match. So obviously looking at the league tables, we are in 11th, which is just not a position any Rangers team should be in after a number of games. Livingston have played a game extra on top of us, but are sitting 9th, a point ahead on 5 to our 4. I'd quite like they've got a nice little run there. Win 1, draw 2, loss 3, so 1, 2, 3. And a slightly worse goal difference, but more goals both for and against. So could be an interesting one there. Rangers, as I say, coming off a loss to Genk, following our only victory in our last 5 against Hibernian. Livingston have lost 4 of their last 5, only points coming in a draw against Aberdeen. I think, Ross, looking at that, neither team are really performing great at the moment, but, you know, if Livingston are within 2 places of us in the league, it's normally because they've been doing really well. But unfortunately, in this scenario, it's because we've really been not.
yeah, Livingston's one of the teams, as you said, the likes of Dundee United. One of the teams like they'll stick back with 11 men behind the ball. They will make us try our hardest to do it. But then again, my argument with this whole high defensive line, that is going to come back and screw us again this weekend, I believe. Because I just feel like as soon as we have a high defence, it's an easy pass, like Thursday night. Easy pass, easy goal. Should be conceding it, but the defence is just a joke at the moment. It's kind of scary that Russell Martin's was a defender, doesn't know how to organise a defence.
Yep, it's been something that's been an issue in the multiple games, that ball over the top. We saw it against Genk, we saw it against St Mirren as well. And looking at what we can expect from Livingston, that is a goal that they could very easily score. They do set up in a sort of a 4-3-3, 4-2-1-3 formation, not too dissimilar to ourselves, although the organisational setup is a bit different. They like to maintain a structured, compact defensive block, not necessarily a low block per se. They have been trying to move away from that slightly in recent times since the relegation and subsequent return to the Premier League. The manager trying to get them a little bit more balanced, which is having pros and cons for them, as they're finding so far. They are direct. They'll use long passes. They like to exploit aerial duels, which they're good at, crosses and long throws, so set pieces as well. Also a big part of their game. They've got a lot of big guys in that team. Pictured there, Mohamed Salah, one of their new signings from Dundee. He's a strong midfielder, tall guy, combative. They will use those things to their benefit. They'll concede the width in order to remain contact and keep their defence solid. So there is the opportunity for us to gain in that respect, finding space on the wings. We do have wingers that can damage a team like Livingston if we use them properly. But that's a big if under Russell Martin right now. And the bit I think really ties into what you just said there, Ross, in transition. They look to push the ball forward quite quickly now. And that goal we lost against St Mirren, where they got the ball and just very quickly, simple, one long pass, splits the defence. That's a goal I could see Livingston scoring against us if we're not if we don't fix that.
Yeah, I don't want to use the excuse, Doug, about plastic pitches. We can't use that excuse. It's just an excuse that they use every season. Oh, we didn't play well because of plastic pitch. Look, the plastic pitches at the training ground. If I was Russell Martin, I would have him plastic pitches, which I know for a fact he hasn't. But we have them. Use them to the advantage. The team of Livingston, yeah, some would argue they shouldn't be in the Premiership, but that's a whole completely different matter altogether. They will use that to the advantage. Livingston, I do feel like maybe get 1 or 2 goals, maybe. But all depends on our defence, how Martin wants to set up. I hope he doesn't make too many changes, because too many changes can disrupt the team as well. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not one that accepts the plastic pitch excuse. These are elite footballers. They should be able to adapt to play on a plastic pitch. I can understand how it can affect things. So maybe they don't play exactly how they'd like to. But as you say, we've got at least 2, possibly 4 Astro turf pitches in the training centre for all weather training. So yeah, I don't really see that as an excuse either. Looking at their danger men, the guys I've picked out for the moment are as the aforementioned centre midfielder Mohamed Salah. They have brought him in from Dundee. He's a decent player. Obviously getting on a little bit in age, but I think can still do a job for that kind of mid to lower table team. It's a strong combative player. He started most of the games so far. You can see there with his aerial duels won in defensive actions incredibly high in comparison to players in his position. So he is a strong player for them defensively, and he'll help to kind of marshal that midfield and try and be on top of the midfield battle. So our players will need to be up for that. And then in the more attacking substance is Lewis Smith. He's got 2 goals and an assist so far this season. Started 4 out of 6 games. He's a bright player. Say again, there's 78th percentile for goals coming from the wing. So he's one that they'll look to try and use in terms of their attacking output. He's got a decent bit of pace on him. Reasonably young still, so let's say another one. There are a couple of other players that they do have that could be effective if they're on form, and I'm sure we'll touch on them as the season goes on. But Ross, they've also got a few ex-Rangers in their ranks as well.
Yes, that's correct. They have Danny Wilson, who is very aerial in defence, very aerial. Danny Wilson's still a very good, cracking player. He'll know how Rangers play. Just feel like that kind of thing won't help us. But again, Livy's one of the teams. I want a positive result, but truth, I can't see it. I can see us getting beaten Sunday, and that's the honest truth. I can't see it. And if this keeps going, he has to be sacked. We can't keep. In the nicest way to Livingston, we cannot get beat, as you mentioned before we come on. We have not lost to Livingston away since 2019, I believe he said. So
Yep.
that's another record. Is this another record Martin wants? Oh, I broke that record. It's just becoming embarrassing, Doug. It really is. It's getting boring watching Rangers now. It's just you're just waiting for the goal. But with the defensive line, you know it's coming. It's like, I don't know. It's just frustrating.
Absolutely, and something that we will hope to avoid in this game, but we shall have to see. In terms of the team that will be looking to avoid that, I've gone for a less predictive team this time, and this is more, I think, changes I would like to see. If Martin's not going to change the system, the only other option is to change some of the players. In terms of the defence, I've brought Giga back into the fold. I give Suter a rest. He's made a few mistakes in recent games, and I think maybe just it's an opportunity just to try an alternative combination in that back four. Giga's he's a tall guy, strong guy, so I think he is suited to that the style that Livingston will bring in. In terms of the midfield, I've changed both the more attacking players. Braskin, that he's the mainstay of that midfield. It's more of just a question of who plays with him more majority of the time. Cameron, he may not be fit in time for the game. The manager said he may be in contention for the weekend. So on the hope that he is, I'm bringing him in. I think he's energetic. He's got the ability to attack and defend. And I think after Diamana's red card, maybe just pull him out for one and put Cameron in for his return to injury. And then bringing in Rothwell in that more advanced position. Rothwell's actually, I think, looked decent in the last 2 games he's come on in. The first match back from his first match back in the team, he came on, probably instigated our best 10 minutes of football and then injured himself. So straight back off again. But then again came into the Genk match and similar to previous, he was immediately driving forward with the ball and trying to carry the ball forward. And he just looked a bit more dynamic. He did have hints of the Rothwell from previous last season at Leeds in terms of the player we thought we were getting. So I'd like to see him in there, but and in that, as to say, that more advanced position, because he's had a tendency, Martin, to play Rothwell in the 6 and Raskin in advance. But I'd like to see, keep Raskin in the 6 position that he's performed well in, put Rothwell in that more advanced position and tell him, look, take that ball, drive with it, cause some trouble in the defence, make Livingston have to think about things and try some of those passes that he showed some good passes in the friendlies as well. So I brought him in there. Miovski, I think, coming back in, to me, is an obvious one. I think he should have started in the Genk game. Gassama, I think, is probably the other automatic choice beside Raskin. And then on the right side, I've put in Ant-Man, but you've got someone else you'd like to see in that position.
Yes, I have Finlay Curtis. What does Finlay have to do to get a game? He's been so promising in the games. I've also had arguments with Mikey Moore. So with that, Doug, I believe it's in his contract he has to play so many games. I believe that's why he's playing a lot more games, but I just hope that he gets a chance, Curtis, But also with Miovski, I believe he had a knock, Doug. That's the reason he didn't start against Genk. I believe that's why he was on the bench. That's the reason Chimiti started, but Chimiti hasn't shown to me why it cost him 10 million. That's a stupid thing, in my opinion.
There's also the rumor that he can't play. The Chimiti can't play on a plastic pitch as well, which I think is a stupid thing, because again, there's no player that can't play in a plastic pitch. But so I think that's a bit of a weird one. But
it's a hard one. So if you look at the Ryan Jack injuries, for example, they are dangerous pitches, but there's no reason why you can't play. You're just going to have, as you've said, or I've said, the plastic pitches at the training ground. You have them to use them, but they're not using them to their advantage. So I don't know what they think's going on. I mean, they're there, use them. They're not using them at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe Finlay Curtis has to come in. He'll be different running up and down the wing. I mean, I noticed the Genk game, so you notice Mikey Moore coming in quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that then made Tav run forward, but then because Tav's legs, he wasn't back in time to cover the right back. So it came to the stage when Tav went forward, turned into a back 3, which is turned another chaos altogether. Unfortunately, Tav's legs are gone now. He can't run up and down unless he has someone there to assist him on the wing. And Mikey Moore isn't that player.
So with that in mind, we've chosen Finlay Curtis as the potential game changer for this match. He's been a game changer in previous games, obviously. The St Mirren match in particular, coming on in the second half to score the equalising goal. A lot of fans want to see him. Obviously, a young 18-year-old Ranger supporter since he was a lad. All the things that supporters love to see in a young player coming through. But then, as I say, there's the added bonus here that he has looked bright. He's scored goals. 1 in the league, 3 in all competitions. Say there, you could say in terms of his league minutes played, he's appeared in 3 matches. He's only played 35 minutes, so he's only getting 10 minutes a game on average at the moment, which is not an awful lot of time, and yet to have such a big impression on the fans, I think, says a lot about about what he's done in that time. Obviously, in terms of the goals, so it would be great to see him coming in And as I say, ideally we will get to see that and I was going to say tomorrow, but on Sunday. So all that's left then, league predictions. You've said already you don't see a win coming yourself. I've put it down as a 1-1 draw, purely just because I'm sitting there looking at this going, well, Livingston are St Mirren-esque, they are Dundee-esque. So all the things being the same, 1-1 seems like it could be a potential nailed-on score. Do you feel that that we're good enough to get the draw at least, or are you thinking worst case scenario that Livingston could pull off a win?
If I'm completely honest with you, I feel Livingston could get a win. But I'm trying to remain positive and say 2-0 Rangers. I can't see it though. I'm trying to remain very positive, but I can't see it. The issue is, where are the 2 goals coming from, Doug? More than anything.
Well, from Finlay Curtis, obviously.
Well, obviously, but like for example, the Genk, Chimiti had no service whatsoever. What's he supposed to do? We've had an issue that all season. Strikers are getting no service at all. Once again, as you brought up, if we use wingers properly, superb. But we're not been using them properly.
Yeah, I think the only way we get the 2 goals is Gassama bulldozing through as he does, and he'll get one, or we get a penalty, in which case you'll get a goal for another goal from Tav. And then the second can be Finlay Curtis to make it comfortable. So that's not impossible. But it says a lot. I mean, those 3 players, those are our 3 top scorers right now. So if the goals are going to come from anywhere, then it is potentially likely from there. But to say, hopefully Rangers can prove us wrong. Obviously, they did pick up their performance against Hibs, so if they're able to do the same, as I say, they should be able to beat Livingston. And with all due respect to Livingston, they're a decent side, they're an organised side. But as I said, we've not lost away to them since 2019. We should be picking up some points, and if we don't, it's yet another nail in Russell Martin's coffin. I don't necessarily think he'll go. A lot of people have kind of said there's a suggestion there's meant to be a review in the October break, so he maybe has until then, which would see him past Falkirk, but we shall see.
One thing I will say about Martin, Doug, I feel like as soon as he tells the board he cannot do it, they'll sack him. He keeps telling the board, "I've got this. Give me time."
He'll never not. He'll never not say that. So it'll be
That's what I'm saying until he actually comes out and says it. But I don't know. I just think it's going to be one of the games that it's just going to backfire as usual. Rangers way, and then I don't know. As you said, if respect to Livingston, we should not be going to beat Livingston. With respect, we shouldn't. But if Livingston pull it off, I wouldn't be shocked. Completely honest, I wouldn't be shocked.
And I don't think many people would be. So we'll just have to hope that the Rangers that played Hibs turned up and not the Rangers that played everyone else. But we shall soon see on Sunday. So if you are going to the game, then enjoy that. If not, then as I know that a lot of people will still be swearing off of it. So we'll see how things go in that regard. But thanks for joining us today. Thank you to Ross for jumping on this one to talk through the game. We've got a lot of content coming out every day pretty much of the week, so do, if you're not already, click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when we go live during the week or when we put up videos like this for matches. We've got a scouting video that came out this evening being Friday the 20 what was it, the 26th, sorry.
26th,
yeah. About possible new managers. So we are starting to look down that again. So check that one out if you haven't already. And earlier this evening, I also recorded a video about James Tavernier, who on the Genk game hit his 227th match, which puts him into the top 10 appearance holders of all time for the club. And that is a members only video. So if you want to view that one, you need to join our channel as a member. You can do that by clicking the join button for just the low price of 99p per month. So if you want to help us and become a member, you can do that. Or, as I say, you can subscribe for free as well.
Sorry, with Tav, Dog, I'm going to put a curveball. So if we don't have a right back replacement at the end of the season, what do we do? Do we let him go on a free, or what do we do? You know, it is a hard one. I know his legs isn't with it, but do we keep him as experience, or what?
I think he goes
You know,
regardless, and we just, it's time to make that fresh break. So I think he'll go regardless. He's had his time now. Decade's a good
Yep.
period of time. He should get his testimonial, and then, as I say, off into the light, as it were.
no doubt it'll be against Leeds' team.
Could be, yeah,
Testimonial.
could be Leeds. Newcastle could have been another option, though we did have them for Alan McGregor. So, but we'll see.
Yep.
Okay, so as I said, thanks for joining us on the Lowdown again. I'll be back, obviously, for our midweek game against Sturm Graz. We'll talk about Rangers hopefully getting off to a better start in that game for the Europa League. But until then, enjoy the match of the weekend, and just remember that every night is a Rangers Journal night. Cheers.